Who is it?
Hey,
Vinny!
dude, are you there?
Hey, what's
Yeah,
up,
I'm
my
here,
brother?
man.
How are you,
Dude, I don't
man?
have a scary story, man.
I'm gonna have pretty much a heart attack. I'm like having a heart attack, but I can't scream or anything. Basically, laying on the floor, panicking.
Oh!
No, you weren't. You weren't.
Oh!
You built the place. I haven't seen the Hopi in thousands of years. Don't make fun of my people. Period.
Sorry,
I'll pull out
grandfather.
your ass and cut you up into little bitty bits.
Facebook page down because people said Richie from Boston's gay. He's gay. I'm gay. I'm a gay man.
And I mean, yeah, I mean, you can prosecute me for that if you like.
No, it's not why I'm doing that. I'm just saying there's a lot
but
of...
that is what you did. Bigelow started buying websites, including one in British Columbia, Canada. So all of a sudden, this kind of triggered Brian Vike.
Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins here. We've got a special report for you. We've got a few UFO videos that we want to share with you.
Welcome back, everybody. Blake Cousins, along with Orlando Smith and Brent Cousins, we're going to be going over incredible imagery.
Third phase of moon. Third phase of moon.
Ten, 9, ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
You were either in or you were either out, brother.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah.
All right. Welcome to GUFON, everybody. I am your host, Rich Giordano. It is Thursday, July 11th, 2018, 2024. And I want to welcome you to guys okay? Everybody all right? Okay. All right. Sure you want to do this? It's nice to see justice. Thank you. I saw a little justice just now. Very excited. I'm in thought. Because it's nice to see justice. I mean, real justice. There was an auditor who got unlawfully arrested and was put in prison for literally nothing. He's been there for 3 months, and I don't know who he knows, but he's getting out. They didn't appeal. It was such a retaliation against him because he's an auditor. The judge and the police officer were so corrupt. Unbelievable. He didn't break any laws and they threw him in prison. This is an amazing story I'm going to show on RSA. So he's getting out. I am just ecstatic because he's going to sue and he's going to win a fucking shitload of money. And he deserves it. Unbelievable what he went through. So I'm just happy to see there's justice from corrupt judge and a corrupt officer, and maybe a corrupt attorney for the state. So it was awful. But I just literally got done watching the appeal and him winning, and it was really nice to see, because he's a lot like me, he's younger than me, but it reminds me he's got the same gumption and energy and attitude that I like. And it's good to see justice. Do we ever get that here in ufology? Do we get justice? What is justice? Yeah, we're not even going to have 50 people here tonight. It's over. Who cares? Those days are over. 150, 200. That was January. Yeah, in literally 6 months, YouTube took us from 150 to 200 down to 50. You know, the weird thing is, I get people messaging me, and they're saying, why are you purposely ignoring me? I'm like, I don't watch the chat room. And then I read on further. It's like, they're saying hi, and my theory was right. People are invisible. They're here. They can see themselves on the chat room on their end, but we don't see them. And and the numbers don't add up. So people are here. It's amazing. Yeah. And what if they did super chat and we can't see them? Does it go through, or does it just go to YouTube? I wonder about that. There's no way that could be true. There's no way. I think somebody heard me talk about my theory and they're just playing me, because that's impossible. YouTube doesn't do that. Because if they did, we would have known about it. People just don't come around anymore. No. People believe the other side more than they believe this side. Plus, I'm a horrible person. I'm a terrible person. I'm the worst person. I offer nothing. I give nothing. All I do is complain and bitch about everything. But I'm right. When am I wrong? When? I don't know. So why I'm being, shabanned is beyond me. It's because we're doing it right. We're saying the right things. They don't want us to they don't like they don't like any of our stories. All of ufology's going through it. Except for the people who are curtailing their shows for that side of ufology. Like if we started today saying, oh yeah, disclosure's right around the corner. Elizondo's a magic man. I mean, everything this guy touches turns to gold. It's amazing. Brandon Fugel and Skinwalker Ranch, they get the best evidence I've ever seen. And people are so mean to them. Why? They're just trying. They're trying. Oh, it doesn't matter. Let everything fail. I mean, but they're trying. And Corbell, maybe they weren't what he was told. Maybe they were flares, but he didn't know. Corbell didn't know. And George Knapp's trying to teach Corbell. Poor George Knapp is stuck in the middle of it all. Oh, and that nasty Greer. That nasty Greer is definitely a paid shill. And he pays people like Third Phase of Moon and GUFON to talk crap about everybody. Yeah. Yeah, he's one of those rich guys, like what do they call, a philanthropist? That's the ufology they want me to talk about. I'm doing this and I'm laughing in my head. The complete opposite is exactly what I just did, what we talk about, and it just sounds so weird. It's like I'm on another, it's somewhere else. It's like another world talking the way they talk. It is bizarre. Yeah, it was kind of weird. I felt like a whole different person talking that way. Let me try some more. Oh, David Grush. If there was a magic man in ufology, David Grush is the magic man. Hearsay? You don't say. He said it all. Aliens? Biologics? Are you kidding me? The pilots? And we've got craft. Oh, yeah, some were crashed. Some may be archaeological digs. But we don't know. But David Grush knows, and he told us everything. This is an amazing time in history. We had a congressional hearing. Are you kidding me? Two? Oh, this ufology is doing so. We're almost to disclosure. I think we're more than halfway. This is an amazing time to be alive. Lou Elizondo's book's coming out. Oh, it's probably gonna be a bunch of lies. That's what they're gonna say. But oh, the truth's gonna come out, and Lou's gonna name names. Oh, I can't believe this field. It's an amazing place. What a time in history to be alive. I mean, this is disclosure. This is it. We're here now. Wake the kids, grab the dog, and head for the hills because the aliens are coming and they're friendly. Now, go to the hills because that's where they're going to be. Hey, Giant Rock in California, get ready. They're coming back. And you know what? Times Square is going to be a little different this New Year's because aliens celebrate New Year's too. And on New Year's Eve, they're going to show up right there in Times Square. I hear it all the time. The aliens are not going to show up on the White House lawn. They're going to show up in Central Park. Yes, New York City. And where else? China. They're going to show up right down there in the Red Square. Where? Russia. They're going to show up in Russia. Where else? And where else? Where else? Right. Europe, France. Yeah. Can I ask you something? Doesn't that sound like a military setup? I mean, they're putting one giant ship over each major country. How do they know where all the countries are if they don't know what midnight is on the New Year calendar? I said, oh, we're live. We're still live. Welcome to GUFON, everybody. It's the ufology you dream of, and we're here to give it to you. Tonight on GUFON. Welcome, and who's here this evening? Woo Riders, DG's here. What do you say there, Slick? Welcome to the show, Kelly Lewis, because why? Know why? EW is here. Welcome to the show, Sky Allen. Welcome to the show. Calm down, Rich. Metalhead, welcome to the show. Calm down. Hey, Moody Mongol, everybody. Calm down, Rich. All right. Talking that way makes me a little crazy. I can't stop it. I can't control the urge to talk like they do now. I want to be like them. Can we all do it? Say it with me. We're halfway to disclosure, and it feels like I'm getting closure. Because the aliens are here, just like I knew they were, dear. But they abduct cows instead. The angel of GUFON, Jeanette and Samo, GUFOnian rockstar. Welcome to the show. Hey, you have conscience to believe in God. You know who man's best friend is? A DOG. That's my God. Hello, doggy. Welcome to the show, Alfie Joe Bob. Welcome to the show. The AJB is right here. Dan Peters. What do you say, DP? And I mean it. Welcome to the show. That was weird. Who else is here? That's it? Well, that's all we need. Brookes, you're still awake. Welcome to the show. Phil, what do you say, Mr. McCord? You got the memo. Yes, you did. Hey, there he is. My man, Don Mofo. How do you do, mister? I was going to say something, but, it didn't come out right. Yeah, you wouldn't know it by the way I'm acting, but I have not felt good all day. I mean, it's just one day after another. It's just enough already, All right, if I didn't say your name, it doesn't mean I don't love you. It means we got a lot of show to do, and I'm still in character. Are we still doing that? All right, calm down now. Let's get back to reality. I want to do more. Can we do more of what it's like to be on that side of ufology? And hey, if you want to help support either side through GUFON, all the links are in the show description. Super Chat, Super Sticker, PayPal, Cash App, and become a member. That's how you support Truthology for ufology. Terrible show. Terrible. I would never watch this guy again. I'm going to make sure I do horrible shows from here on out. Starting tonight. We're doing good so far, right? I didn't brush my teeth on purpose, hoping there would be food still stuck in there from today's lunch. But it's not. And I did. I brushed. But we're going to do our thing. We're going to get through this together. The shadow ban, the Taliban, ban roll-on. Who knew? I don't use ban. Whoever uses ban has dirty armpits. I don't know what to tell you. Anybody using roll-on has a hair stuck in their roller. Gross. Anybody who uses stick has hair stuck on their stick. Anybody who uses spray, good for you. You never let them see you sweat. You never ever let it touch your pits. You always spray it. You want that hair stuck on your thing, somebody comes over to borrow it, and they see your hair. Oh, you don't use other people's deodorant? Always. Same thing as wearing their underwear. It's the same thing. Ew. It's just like using someone else's soap. Always give your guests brand new soap. All the letters, very, very sharp, carving into that Dove soap. Whatever. All right, let's get to ufology, because that's why you're here. You're not here for soap suds, are you? I tell you what, though, ufology needs a cleaning. We're going to clean house. And we're going to live in the mind of that side of ufology, a few minutes a day. And maybe I'll be cured of my my negativity in ufology. It's changing. I'm becoming more like them. Slowly but surely. I didn't call you Shirley. We're going to get there. And we're going to be a part of ufology, and we'll be and they'll release the shadow ban, because we're going to do everything we can to make sure they know we're on their side. And if you want to help support that, you do what Phil did here. Phil! I like to listen while I nap. Oh, that's cool, man. Me too. Me too. That's what this show's good for, Phil McCorlick. I know you said it wrong. I did that on purpose. I bet you everybody says your name wrong. It's McCorlick. I don't know why people say my name wrong. It's right there. The L is before the O, and Rick's at the end. How hard is it to say McClaw Rick? McClaw Rick, hello. Hey, Phil, I know. I'm Mr. Geronimo or Guy Rodano. So I'm on your side. Phil McClorick, everybody. He likes to listen while he naps to GUFON. And that is exactly what I like to hear. You get the message in there while you're napping. And it sinks in even deeper than listening while you're awake. And donating $5 before you fall asleep helps with that absorption of GUFON. I'm just saying. Truthology for ufology will sink into your skull, hit your brain neurons, and you'll wake up the next day feeling revived, refreshed, and you'll say, disclosure? Ha! Thanks, Phil. You showed those naysayers how to nap correctly while listening to GUFON. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for being, and you're a continuing napper. He is a continuing napper using GUFON to get hours of sleep. And welcome to the show. All right. I don't know what I'm doing. I thought I saw another super. Was there another one? Phil McClorick. Yeah, I don't know. I thought I saw another one. All right. Anyway, that's a nice way to start the show. So yeah, so good news for my friend. Well, not my friend, but an auditor getting out of prison for doing nothing wrong. I am in a very good mood over that. But I joke around a little bit about the state of ufology and what people are being forced to listen to on mainstream media. You and I aren't part of their plan. We are the 1%ers of ufology. Yeah, it's true. There's only, and it's less than 1%, but you go any lower. What do I know? Well, we're the 1/8 of a percentage point. We're the less than 1%er of the real world. There's not a lot of ufology people, ufologists. There's not a lot of us. Very, very small amount. If you think about the population of 8 billion people, there may be a couple of thousand worldwide. How many people in my state of Florida? How many people? I don't know, 8 million people? I don't know how many people live in Florida. It's a lot. We'll say 10 million. 20? Well, anyway. You go on the internet, and how many people are here full time? I don't know. Not a lot. Not a lot. It's very, very few people that are on the internet every day, that are researching shit every day, that are doing a live stream every day. They're doing spaces, on X every day. People that are in it. Even if we're not in it, we're not on the mainstream, but there's not a lot of us. So it's a couple of thousand worldwide. Probably 10, maybe 8 to 10,000 people worldwide out of 8 billion. There's millions of people who wait for their next UFO video to pop up or the next short, but those are just casual observers. That's who Corbell goes after. That's who the constituents go after. And it's not a lot of people. Yeah. You figure out of 8 billion people, 5 billion people probably believe there's something here, or something that was here, or something that is coming here, has been, is, be, and should be. I bet you it's about 5 billion of the Earth's population. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of Earth. See, I think we're at that point where we could have disclosure and the majority of people would be all right. Where back in 1930, when did they do War of the Worlds? People were jumping out of their windows. And, you know, they had no internet. They didn't even have TV. How are they supposed to know what's going on across the country? You know? Shit. I mean, mail used to take 8 days. Now it takes 7. I mean, the leaps and bounds. They didn't find out everything the same way when they heard the War of the Worlds. And then 30 years later, approximately, Roswell happened. Still no TV. Isn't that weird? Was there TV? No, there wasn't. In 1947, there was TV, right? I don't remember. I think TV was new. TV sold in the United States. Originally. Let's see. In 1929, the first television sold commercially in the United States was the Baird televisor. In 1929. What? This early TV used reflected light to create a low-resolution image the size of a postage stamp. Oh. However, television sets were only affordable to the wealthy in the 30s, costing between $200 and $600. Wow. In 1927, AT&T transmitted moving images of Herbert Hoover from Washington to New York over phone circuits. In 1928, GE began broadcasting a 24-line mechanical image from a New York station. Philo T. Farnsworth, that's Farnsworth, he was a dandy man. What a nice top hat he did. He demonstrated his electric television to reporters at his San Francisco laboratory. 1928, that was. 11 years later, in 1939, the infamous RCA dog televised the opening of the New York's World's Fair. All right, that's when I thought it was, around 1940-something, but 1939. And that included a speech by President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. By the way, it's not Delano. People say Franklin Delano Roosevelt. It's Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Franklin D. Rose. It's not Delano. Can you stop saying that? I know it rolls into it, but it's wrong. Franklin DR, the big FDR, he became the first president to appear on TV. RCA also began selling TV sets with 5 by 12-inch picture tubes. In 1941, the Federal Well, FCC, authorized commercial broadcasting. Yeah, that's what it is, 1941, but okay. In 1946, get this, 6,000 TV sets were in the U.S. What? In 5 years, in 1951, more than 12 million TVs were in the U.S. The first all-electric color TV set was introduced in the United States in 1951. And in the late, well, I think 2010 it was, the transition from analog TV to digital began, and the government shut down analog broadcasting by the end of 2010. Oh, okay. That's crazy. 12 million of them in 5 years. Can you imagine selling 2.2 million of those a year? And then now everybody, they're on your phone. You carry your TV with you, which we've been doing since what, 2002, 2000. We had the Blackberries. Remember that? The Blackberry, the flip phones. It would take forever to take a picture. Not to take one, but to receive one. And then I think, what was the pixels? 10? It wasn't even that. No, it was 3. A 3 megapixel camera is what, that was the first on the iPhone 1, right? 3 megapixel. I got my first iPhone, my first smartphone was the iPhone 3. And then when I got to the iPhone 6 Plus, I was fed up with being stuck with Apple products. No third party? Well, this is how we keep. It's total socialistic way of living. I have so much music that I bought when because like right now with Android, I pay $10 a month for premium or $13.99, whatever it is now. And it gets rid of all the ads that show when you watch YouTube. No ads. I haven't seen an ad in a decade. It used to be called YouTube Red. And I get unlimited music with YouTube. I haven't bought music since I got off of the iPhone. I haven't been back since then. Android user since, proudly and very happily. I think Apple is a socialistic, monopolizing way. It's definitely not a capitalistic thing. It is, but it isn't. It's weird. You're alienating millions of people. Yeah. However, the likelihood you get hacked on an iPhone compared to an Android phone, forget about it. Not easy. So you get a lot of security with an iPhone, that's for sure. Oh well. It is what it is. I ain't living to be secure. I'm living to have fun. I'm living to live. All right. So tonight, I didn't come here to tell you all that. No, hold on. Okay. All right, let's move on. So I want to show you something really interesting. And And I've looked at this video countless times. 3 times. This lady takes her dog's ashes and throws them, into the air over where she wants to spread them. And as she throws the ashes, you see a dog appear in the sky, like in the ashes. And I keep saying, it looks real. It doesn't look like it's fake. It doesn't. Yeah, I got to show you this. It made the headlines here on Newsbreak. I just thought it was really cool because it looks legit. So yeah, she's gonna throw the dog's ashes over into the place where he used to. Oh, it took the form of a dog, and it did take the shape of what looked like this dog. Isn't that wild? Come on, that's unbelievable to me. That's real. That wasn't faked. Isn't that wild? How do you not believe? Missed it again. It's so cool. It looks real to me. Whoops. Can we go like frame by frame at least here? Oh, yeah. Okay, look at that. That is so wicked. Just for an instant, right? That's wild. I'm free. I'm gone. Aw, he dove into the water. His little. See, this is what I mean. How does that happen? How? I don't think that's fake at all. Although, some people are going to argue that it's fake, but I don't think it is. It's just amazing. Right there is where it catches it. So weird. I would be forever changed if I was that woman because that kind of looks like the shape of her dog. That's the cool thing about it. All right. Anyway, I just thought that was real touching. Sad. Really. During a 1-month span, excuse me, in 1947, credible observers formally reported nearly 1,000 sightings of disc-shaped objects, metallic in nature. In a stunning analytic failure, DOD arrow dismisses them all as ordinary objects and misidentifications. And so that's what they are.
Well, he
So
also
it's a
said
joke.
he's sharpest before 8 p.m. So, say that the Pentagon at some point picks up an incoming nuke. It's 11 p.m. Who do you call? The First Lady?
He has a team that lets him know of any news that is pertinent and important to the American people. He has someone that is decided, obviously, with his National Security Council on who gets to tell him that news.
Well, he
So
also
it's a
said
joke.
he's sharpest.
So you can see Nick Pope down here when the White House press corps aren't attacking but are essentially just making jokes about the situation, although concern over the scenario is real and valid, and laughing at KJP, who can only look on exasperated. Team Biden should realize it's all but over. John Greenwald saying, the spiraling I saw the other day was pretty interesting to see. Usually it's doocy in the sparring session. Not so much recently. Yeah. Yeah, it's over for them, pretty much. But you never know. You know, they'll rig the election if they want to win. Plus, they have 30 million illegals here. So, well, whatever you want to call them. The other day I was playing Joe Rogan with Eric Weinstein and Terrence Howard. I'm just going to continue where I left off because who gives a shit?
Is that we have a vulnerability to the total real numbers under addition with the additive identity being 0. And the natural logarithm and exponential are group homomorphisms that connect the two, with one being the other's inverse. So by the principle of explosion, the reason that people are in part going to freak out about your stuff is that we have a vulnerability. And that vulnerability says that from a single contradiction, if you can sneak one contradiction through TSA, the entire airport collapses. Everything that we do just is destroyed. And so the idea is that the security on mathematics and physics and the physical sciences is extraordinary for outside ideas because the first contradiction in the unity of knowledge destroys all of it. If you've ever seen one of these warehouse racking collapses,
yes,
where some forklift guy hits some strut and the entire warehouse goes that's what you're dealing with the principle of explosion.
And that's that's the problems with the identity principle that they've been trying to work on for years. For years, Norman J. Wildberger talks about it. It is what's because you have to cancel conservation of energy, and you have to cancel the action and reactionary laws in order for one times one. Now, I understand you're seeing one time, but because of the associative law that says if A and B are both positive integers, then A is to be added to itself. In multiplication, A is to be added to itself as many units as is indicated by B.
Well, hang on there. If I change the word itself to the word 0, which you're going to say, there is no 0.
Why do I say there's no 0?
Because you have, well, this is why I keep trying to get back to what I understand of Terrence's underlying metaphysics.
No, what I'm saying
is
that to say 0 is supposed to represent no thing. Nothing whatsoever, but they have 0 as a number, set up as a number. But to say no thing, your brain creates a chemical structure even in saying nothing. So there is what I'm saying philosophically.
There's a difference between the empty set and
empty set.
0.
That's the difference.
Right? So if I say to you, Terrence, what is the collection of kittens that you have sold to North Korea to be used for spare parts? You would say, it's the empty set. I've never sold a kitten. I say, hey, Terrence, what is the number of kittens that you've sold for the internal organs to North Korea? You would say 0. So
Correct.
0 is
I would say none, yeah.
That's
0.
right. So there is a 0.
But to multiply something by the nothing, to multiply something by nothing, don't they have to be dimensionally equal in order to multiply? Like you can't multiply a human by an ant because they're not dimensionally equal.
Well, if there was a thing called a human ant. No, that was your point about dollars, right?
Yes.
They're not, an ant and a human aren't dimensionally equal? Aren't we in the same dimensional universe as an ant? I mean, I get it. We're a lot bigger than an ant, but we're in the same dimension. Perspective. Yeah, we have a different perspective because we can imagine a perspective. Ants, they don't imagine perspective. They don't have self-awareness. They don't know about free will. Ants are programmed. They are like a computer program. Oh, Jolly Rancher. And what does everybody ever say? All these guys always say it's evolution. It's their instinct. Really? It's their instinct? When a horse is born, bloop, it gets up after a few, and it's already walking, right? It's already able to take care of itself almost. You know, very unstable, but after a day or two, it's galloping around with its newfound life. Humans can't do that. We are taken out of the womb early. Did you know we're supposed to go to 10 months? That's what I heard. I'm no woman. Some would argue. Seriously? I identify as a man, but I'm all man. What was I going to say? What was I going to say? Oh. I thought that we're supposed to go to term at 9.5, 10 months. And they rip us out at 9 months because why? What I always heard was that it's unhealthy for the baby to stay in there. It's unhealthy for the woman. I think what happens is it gets bigger, right? And then it's hard to come out of the vagine, right? So then they just take it out of the top, out of the sunroof. Yeah, that's what they do. They cut into your skin roof and they rip the baby out, right? And the head's, and it can't care for itself. We got to care for that thing. Why? We are not indigenous to Earth. We are not normal. Every other living thing that's born in nature giddy ups on its own. With a little help from mom and dad, of course. Like birds, they don't get their feathers. They got to open up their mouth and be fed manually for a while. It's a big task, but it gives the mother and father birds reason to live. So they're programmed to do things with the birds and the mouths and they regurgitate, right? And the bird's like, that was the most delicious. That was the most delicious cod saliva dinner I've ever had, Ma. Oh, thank you, thank you. I took it out of the ocean myself, without the help of your father this time. Nobody can gulp down a cod like you, Ma, and regurgitate it with the right amount of stomach acid. You do it better than anybody. Oh, there's others that have been visiting you. I am joking, Mother. And that's the story on how life evolves and we feed each other. But according to Weinstein,
dollar times a dollar. That was a problem.
That's the Dewey
people,
Decimal System.
It's
That's
not
the problem
Dewey
with
Decimal.
no. The problem comes up with the Dewey Decimal System. Why a dollar times a dollar can be different values based on different currencies. That was the point of that.
Does anybody else want to put a hot poker in their eye? Listening to this, I'm enjoying it, but I don't think you guys care. I don't think you like it. All right, I'll keep going.
Pointing out, hey, the Dewey Decimal System is
Terrence
whack.
Terrence makes a correct point that we say 1 times 1 equals 1, but if you say a dollar times a dollar is not a sensible thing unless a dollar squared is a unit that you can interpret. Right?
Well,
that was your point about dimensionality.
Right. Now, the moment, what is a dollar squared? What does a
I don't know
dollar
what that
squared
means.
become? But since the dollar is no longer based on a hard asset, it's no longer gold, it's just an integer. It's just an integer in a computer being multiplied.
It's a unit of account.
It's a unit of account, but it's an integer that's still now you're able to multiply it under different currencies. States are not allowed to print dollars, but states are allowed to print as much change. So who's to say that the state isn't saying, okay, we're going to print.
We can get into seigniorage, which is the concept of theft that it occurs when either the Fed or a counterfeiter creates more script, thereby devaluing, increasing the unit. The number of units that are in circulation decreases the value per unit.
Right.
But my claim is you're going to do a series of things. Like I've watched how you deal with people in interaction. And you've created an incredible effect. Rick Rubin, the hip hop producer.
Yeah, he did my album.
Okay, well that makes some sense because the first thing that happens is I'm awakened by a message from Rick Rubin. He's like, "How come you can't explain physics the way Terrence Howard explains? That's not a way to get on my good side at 8 o'clock in the morning."
Yeah, but he's probably baiting you.
What?
Rick's
he's always
baiting.
baiting.
He's the best.
He's the best.
I don't know. They're talking about the value of 1 and 0, and when you multiply 1 by itself, how do you still have 1? Because 1 times something is an addition to the 1. So it can't be 1. It's got to be 2. Terrence Howard is saying math is wrong. So that's kind of why, taken out of context, that may have been like, what are they talking about? That's what they were talking about. I like it because I like listening to people who are smarter than me. I don't think they're smarter than me. I just think that's what they're into. Like if I had a discussion with them about 80s bands or ufology, I would probably run circles around them, right? So, and then you have Greer. Just listen to this.
I've never done this. If you want to hear an interesting backstory of how this last week, and of course we had about thousands of bots that invaded the site, tried to shut it down. So we are asking people to register. It's free.
By the way, I know you guys some of you don't believe in that body language stuff, but I do. I do. It's a real thing. And Greer, just to me, did not seem to be a little bit honest here about the bots. I'll show you.
There it is,
Right there.
Yeah. We just released this last week.
About the bots invading and shutting down the site. Just watch how he says.
And of course, we had about thousands of bots that invaded the site, tried to shut it down.
Did you see the neck stretch? The neck stretch? I forget why it's called what it's called, why they do that. But that is one of the biggest,
right there. Yeah.
biggest signs
we just
that
released this last week.
somebody is totally not sure when they do this. It's almost like going, right? Ugh. Like, I'm thinking maybe Greer was told these bots were shut down or whatever to the site, but he doesn't really know for sure. So when he says something like that, he makes that, I don't know. Watch.
And of course, we had about thousands of bots that invaded the site, tried to shut it down.
Did you see it?
So we are.
It's amazing.
Right there. Yeah. We just released this last week, and of course, we had about thousands of bots that invaded the site, tried to shut it down.
Right when he says down. So weird.
Right there. Yeah. We just released this last week, and of course, we had about thousands of bots that invaded the site, tried to shut it down. So we are asking people to register. It's free. We have a crowdfunding program because
he doesn't like that. It's free, and then you see him make a face like, watch. It's funny. He really wants to charge everybody as much as he can. Come on.
Register is free.
See that? Yeah, licking the lips. Not very happy it's free.
Bots that invaded the site, try to shut it down. So we are asking people to register. It's free.
Here it comes.
We have a crowdfunding program because it's probably going to cost us, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh, he was not. He has his head turned, but you can see him raising the lip on this side. He's doing this. Yeah, it cost us thousands. He doesn't like that it costs thousands of dollars or $10,000. This is amazing. He really lets it all hang out here. Come on, Rich.
Bots that invaded the site, try to shut it down. So we are asking people to register. It's free.
See? And now watch. He's going to say it cost us $10,000 or something, and then watch this side. He's going to make a, like I Love Lucy, face, but only half of his face. Go.
We have a crowdfunding program because it's probably going to cost us, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars a month in usage fees.
Oh, he does not like that. That was amazing. Go.
But the reason I did this, and I've never done this, if you want to hear an interesting backstory of how accidents happen, weird, like, why would I do something like this? And this is all stuff out of my own archive.
Everything right there to me seemed truthful, very truthful.
4 years of accumulated information. And in it also is the black site list, 150 some black sites, where they are, and also links to testimony from witnesses about what's there underground in deep underground military bases or SCIFs, secure compartment information facilities. So some of them people have heard of, like Nellis Air Force Base and Edwards. Some people most people never heard of.
Black sites. CIA controls black sites used by the U.S. government in its war on terror to detain people deemed to be enemy combatants.
Well, not that. That's well, we have various sites, but I'm talking about where retrieved UFOs have been put, where reverse engineered objects are located.
Oh, okay. You mean that's where the reverse engineered objects are, and the metals, and the aliens. Not the POWs. No, don't read that one. Greer's like, no, not that one. We've got other stuff. There's other skiffs, other dummy. Oh yeah, looks like here at Area 51 we're keeping prisoners of war down there. No, not that one. Oh, that's what it was like. That was fun.
Where the man-made ones are, when we knock one down with an electromagnetic or weapon, a directional energy weapon, where are those taken? Where have they been studied? All that's in the archive.
So
it's a massive data dump.
Let me go through a couple things here. So one, this chairman of a former chairman of a Fortune 50 company.
Great guy.
If these 6,000 patents were to be released, and right now, if I'm not mistaken, the punishment is they give you 75% of what they think the patent is worth. I believe that's what they say. And then if you sell it off to somebody else and they find out, you're going to jail for the rest of your life.
Right.
If you even talk about it, you're going to jail for the rest of your life.
Right.
And if you go on Invention Secrecy Act of 1951, the way they categorize on what goes in there, right there, if you can read it, folks, the Invention Secrecy Act allows the U.S. government to classify ideas and patents under secrecy orders, which definitely restrict public knowledge of them. And at the top, if you read it, the United States federal law designed to prevent disclosure of new investigations, the opinion and technologies that, in the opinion of selected federal agencies, so it's purely opinion-based, of selected federal agencies present an alleged threat, it's alleged threat, to the economic stability and national security of the United States. Okay.
Oh my God, that's unbelievable. You know it's going on, but you don't know it's going on, right? But when it's put into words that's going on, are you kidding? So they're going to prevent any new invention that could be, get this, monopolizing. So if there was a new invention that would get rid of gas for our cars, let's say there was an invention you could run cars on water. I wonder if that's possible. Of course it's possible. And they unalived the guy and or guys since then have been removed from life itself because you're going to upset the apple cart. Is that what it's called? You're going to be a fly in the ointment. You're going to take food out of Shell's, Exxon's, who else is that? And all the other gas companies out there. See, they got it all wrong, the gas and the auto industry. They got it all wrong. You can still be those guys. You can still dig for oil, gas, whatever the frig you do. You can still do all that. It's just, now you're going to have to start to sell this. The water. See, I think the gas and oil companies definitely had a part in those people missing, unalived, whatever you want to call it. Of course, it's obvious, especially the guy from 1980-81 who came out with the car, the water car, can go, 200 miles on a cup of water, some shit like that. It was amazing. He winds up dying in front of his brother at a dinner. And they poisoned me. They poisoned me. And a day later, he was dead. He knew it. He was threatened. I don't get these oil and gas companies. Look, I understand you're making billions of dollars. But why can't we have it? Why can't we? All this right here, everything the government's doing is un-American. That right there goes against the Constitution of the United States. I understand if somebody invents a new weapon and they want to, look into it and shit. Yeah, I get that. But a water car? Come on, man. Let us have it. Right? You charge $1 an ounce. You're allowed, each car gets 10 ounces of water, right? It's a special water pumped in from Fiji that only works in your car, right? It's got to have the Fiji chemicals. Fiji. To water your car is like watering your plants. It's just more fun to drive a car than driving a plant. The water car, never coming to you. It's not fair. And not only that, it goes to show you how corrupt our government is. And they will do anything to get their way. Hey, look what happened to JFK. Okay? Yeah. So, unconstitutional. I understand. And look at this. Yeah. And if you invent something, see, this is bullshit.
Go through
This is
ExxonMobil
bullshit.
right now market.
It says an alleged threat to the economic stability, and then they throw in or national security of the. First of all, economic stability. Let me ask a question. When the iPhone came out, no, hold on. Go back to 1939, 1951. Wait, 46 through 51. They went from 6,000 TVs to 12 million TVs in 5 years sold in the United States. How come they didn't get rid of that guy who invented that TV and sold them? That didn't cause economic instability? You know what I mean? The iPhone came out. Millions of people bought that thing like nobody's business. What happened to the economy? It blossomed. It was better than ever. Remember that back? And then the housing thing happened right after. So yeah, they got us there. Right? Economic stability. And you can't invent something that is a threat to the economic stability of government-run corporations. That's what it should say right there. That's what it should say. What a bunch of bullshit, right? What a bunch of bullshit. It's a lie. If you want to make money anywhere else except for the big pharma, you can't create a drug to cure cancer or anything like that. You can't do it. We're not going to allow it. We need sick people. And we need cancer patients. Because without cancer, how are we going to scam everybody out of all these chemicals and everything else? We need more money. Like $1 trillion ain't enough. Hey, $1 billion isn't enough. See, you know what they should do with money in this world? You can't have more than nowadays. All right, let's just throw it out there. You can't have more than $50 million. $50 million. That should be the cap. That's not America, I know. I get it. I understand. But the corruption and everything else that comes with having that much money flowing around, it's to die for. People will do that. Of course they will. And Greer's got points here. It's silly that we are still stuck in the Stone Age. Like, when are we going to make that jump? When are we going to change from gas and oil to the free energy? When? I haven't seen anything that is worthy of a change. I haven't seen any invention that shows me free energy yet. Have you? No. Free energy. What? Yeah. Well. Still stuck with the imagination of Roswell. Right? What What was today's show supposed to be about? What did I put down? Is that today? When humanity can travel interstellar safely, the end of this humanity begins, which we've been talking about on and off for a couple of weeks. I believe this. I believe it. And I've said it before for those of you who are still listening to GUFON and have been here for a minute. You know, as soon as we can fly interstellar, we get a harsh reality check. And that is called the end of days scenario. The reset, which is what I think we're living in. A reality where as soon as we get smart enough to leave the planets and travel the stars and visit other worlds, perhaps, they end it. Yep. They send in the asteroid team. They hit the button on the volcano. The tsunami machine, they'll get that one started for the coasts, and everything will be chaos and mayhem. Fire from the sky. And then we'll go live in the caves. We'll live underground for a couple of decades, come back out and start over. Right? Come back out and start over. A new world. Oh, there's going to be those libraries that they have on the corners in Iceland, Finland, Greenland, some land. Where they have all the seeds of, all the crops and everything else that was alive during our era. Yeah, let's bring it back and do it again that way. You see, now if I don't want to ruin the end of the movie in case you haven't seen for the Planet of the Apes, the newest of the Planet of the Apes movies. So here's a little bit of in case you haven't seen it. Spoiler alert. Hard for me to say. Spoiler alert. Giving people time to hit the mute button or whatever. Okay, so at the end of the movie, the girl who was known as Nova in the movie, at the end of the movie, she says goodbye, makes her peace, and then say, you go find your people, stay with them, I go find my people. Well, we find out that she goes what looks like some sort of fortress, and you hear what sounds like an unlocking mechanism, of some massive door that's about to open up. And then this door opens up and a girl walks out wearing a hazmat suit, which is kind of like a futuristic looking one. Well, I guess we have been living underground for probably 50 years or 80 years, somewhere in there, because you never know how long this is in the future, but it's many generations after 2018, because it tells you in the beginning of the movie. But the girl, Nova, grabbed some satellite uplink information card, gave it to the girl who was wearing the hazmat suit, who were from our world, but generations have passed and they've been living underground for generations. Goes back into the secret underground base, locks the door, puts in the little thing, and they now can talk to other people. The satellite, you see the satellites move. Right? And all these tiles are missing. It looks like it's all weathered. It shouldn't even work, right? But it did, and the signal got through. Is this Fort Worth? Oh, hi, it's us over here in Michigan. Oh, well, we've been under here for, just as long as you. I know, since the beginning. Wait, who's that? China? Ching chang ta toy. Pika chika tai. Me too. Is that Kim? That was the end of the movie. Apes and humans living together. That was the question that ended that movie. Can apes and humans live together, or will one of us be thrown back into cages? Cages. Good movie. I liked it. Now that it's been a few days since I've watched it, I thought it was a good movie. Better than I thought. So I'd give it like an 8.0 out of 10. Or a 4 out of 5. It wasn't bad. It was entertaining. I got to give him that. Are you kidding me? What the unbelievable, the amount of ads that are showing up in my emails all of a sudden. I don't understand what happened here. Tonight went fast. I don't know what this is. Check this out. Crazy propeller causes chaos at Flight Festival. Oh, okay. I remember seeing this. Check this out.
There it goes.
Look at all of that. What are they thinking? Why would anybody in their right mind fly there?
There it goes.
Did you see the UFO? Did you see the UFO? I'm going to show it. I'll show you the UFO.
There it goes.
This right here. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the ISS. Yeah. Look how clear it came in. It looks like it's right there. Yeah, this has been mistaken for a UFO before. The ceiling fan. Yep. This has been mistaken for a UFO. And look at all of the other things flying around that are possible UFO misidentifications from a distance. Look at all of that. What are they thinking? That's kind of cool in a way. That's kind of cool, but I wouldn't bring my drone there, that's for sure. Wow. Oh. Hey, by the way, thanks for hanging out tonight and help supporting GUFON. You can still support GUFON through Super Chat, Super Sticker, PayPal, Cash App. We are supported by you, and you can even become a member, and all that. All the links are in the show description. All right. Yeah, never mind. So being that the world we're living in now, right? When humanity can travel off the planet, they end it. See, I think it was yesterday or the day before where I was talking about that. And I said, as soon as we can leave this planet, they're just going to take us down. The aliens or whoever, whatever you want to call it, our creators, the Anunnaki, Nibiru, whatever. Right? Whatever. What does it matter? It doesn't matter. All I know is aliens will not save us. The end will happen again. Do you know what happens when we get to 9 billion people on the planet, which is predicted by the end of this decade? Do you know what that means? We're at the point of no return. The planet, experts have said this 20 years ago. When we get to this point in humanity, our resources will be stretched beyond anything we can imagine. Food, famine, disease, all of that will hit us again. It's going to be bad. It's going to be hard to find water, fresh water. Think about it. Even though Elon Musk says it's really inexpensive to desalinize salt water, he says it's real inexpensive. Well, why aren't we doing it? And he says, we are. Oh, really? I'm drinking desalinized water? No, but they're using desalinized water in some places. And he says it's very inexpensive to make a facility that could do that. So we never run out of water, drinking water. Do you know what the ocean is filled with? Everything. Everything imaginable has been dumped in the ocean. Everything. You think it's just filled with poop and semen? From all the poop and semen? You've got everything from every single drug to every nuclear waste product ever thrown into the ocean. It's in there. It's all being desalinized for your drinking pleasure. How do you get that stuff out of there 100%? Boiling it isn't good enough for me. I'm telling you that right now. There's a reason why we're not drinking the ocean yet. We haven't burned out our resources. That's what we do. You know what we are? And the Matrix wrote it. Said it best. We're a virus to this planet. We're a disease. You multiply and you take everything or something like that. And you go and consume just like a disease. It's true. It's also called survival. And if anybody read the Bible like me, everything was made for man. Yeah, it was. Everything. But I don't think they predicted 9 billion people. They didn't even talk about 10 billion people. What happens when we get to 10? We're never going to make it. We're never going to make it. At 9 billion people, there will be some sort of event. Seriously. Yeah, that's what they say. There's an event set for every year for the rest of our lives, just in case you were wondering. You can go 20 years into the future. If we're still around, there'll be like in 2030, 34, right? We'll be doing this show and I'll be reading off, hey, looks like in 2035 next year, there's going to be well, they're predicting the big one in LA. They've been having some rumblings there. Haven't they been rumbling for years? Right? And Yellowstone. Everybody's talking about Yellowstone. Right? And we're still going to be talking about the same stuff. Right? Coming on the show today, Brent and Blake Cousins with their wives and their newborn children. 10 years. If I went back 10 years ago, and if I knew we would be in this position, I wouldn't have continued. But I'm not going to give up. We're going to make it. And I need your help. Need your support. I do. If you really want GUFON to survive. Seriously. The other channel, of course, I knew it would take a minute, but I haven't put up great videos yet. But this weekend, that's happening. So things hopefully will start to advance on the other channel. Do you know the other channel does just as good as GUFON with only 1,000 subscribers and 4 videos a month? Yeah, we're doing 30 videos a month here. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for hanging out. I'm done. I appreciate you guys hanging out tonight. Doing the best you can to support Truthology for Ufology. And that's it. Hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. And, alien bless it.